200 years ago, the U.S. was at war with Great Britain for the second time. The War of 1812 established the U.S. as a world power, but not before a devastating blow had been struck on the nation's capital itself, despite an effort by a local force that set out to prevent it. Derek Ward has more on a new monument that will be dedicated, and there will be an observance of the 1814 Battle of Bladensburg this weekend.
The port town of Bladensburg. Tall ships can't ply these waters anymore, and much of the waterfront is now buried beneath the levees. But some of old Bladensburg is there if you know where to look.
On this very spot is where the British set up their rockets. These are Congreve rockets. It was a new sort of secret weapon.
Yes, there was rockets' red glare here before Baltimore Harbor, 2 years into the War of 1812, and this town was a battleground as veteran British regulars descended upon the nation's capital after marching up from southern Maryland. Hastily assembled American forces met them at a bridge here, which they held for a time.
The British sort of started out flanking them, and they crossed up the river here a little bit further.
Joshua Barney and his men stood as long as they could. Local artist Joanna Campbell created this work.
The idea was to show not just Commodore Joshua Barney, but to represent the other guys that he had there with him that day.
More than 100 battle-tried U.S. Marines and 400 flotilla men, free African Americans among them. Joanna Campbell Blake's work depicts Joshua Barney's stand and his fall. It's not a monument to victory on the field.
It needed to have a sort of a solemnity to it, something a little more solemn and somber. And so the design is kind of based on a mausoleum.
The British would continue down the Bladensburg Road into D.C. to burn the Capitol building and the White House. The British lost 50 men, many from the intense August heat. The Americans lost about 10 men, but with the monument, they've gained some recognition.
A legacy of courage and resolute spirit.
Really, there was nothing in Bladensburg that would let anybody know.
Derek Ward, News 4.